Hey there, so this time around we're taking a look at Payday 3 running on the AMD Ryzen 5 5500U. Now the Ryzen 5 5500U that you're taking a look at right now is running on the TRIGKEY Speed S5 mini PC. Now this system runs this chip at a stock TDP of 25 watts. This is important because depending on the exact system that you have, it might be running at 15 watts, some run at 25, and some will even go higher than that, though that's extremely rare. But the TDP is really going to determine a lot of your performance. So if you're on a system with a Ryzen 5 5500U, I would recommend using MSI Afterburner and enabling the overlay so that you can see what your wattage is actually running at. As you can see, the power here says it's running at 25 watts, which is pretty much the sweet spot in terms of maximizing the amount of performance that you'll get out of your chip. You could certainly go higher than this, but you will see very little gains in comparison. The jump from 15 watts to 25 watts is pretty massive in comparison to going from 25 watts to 35 watts. But in general, it doesn't really matter if you're running the game at 15 watts or 25 watts. It's not exactly going to be the most ideal gaming experience, as you can tell by our FPS average and our 1% lows. In any moment where there is just action happening, you'll see that the game is just struggling to keep up, and this is already using the most aggressive setting for FSR. So we're running this with the ultra performance preset, and it's still not giving us a good experience. In general, Payday 2, or rather Payday 3, seems to be noticeably heavier in comparison. Now, it makes sense, most titles that have come out in 2023 haven't exactly played that well with this specific chip, but it is a shame that the 1% lows don't see much of an improvement from using FSR at its lowest preset. It's not exactly a fantastic looking game, and here you're seeing it running with DirectX 11. There is a way to launch the game with DirectX 12, but as far as I can tell, the only way to do that is with the Steam version, and this is running on the Xbox Game Pass, and so far there does not seem to be a way to get this to launch in DirectX 12. Now, the fact that they have hidden away DirectX 12 makes me think it might not perform great on all systems. We'd essentially have to see how it actually performs on this, but as it stands right now, the game itself is just not that playable on this chip. You're pretty much better off playing almost anything else, really, unless you're a die-hard Payday fan. I just don't really see a reason to stomach through the game running like this. But it's really up to you to make the decision on whether or not you want to play a game like this. I know a lot of us APU players do end up having some pretty high tolerance for how badly a game will end up running, but I think that this is well past the threshold where you're probably better off playing just anything else. Really, what I'm just trying to say is maybe learn to love Valorant, because a chip like this is mostly only going to be good for Valorant. But yeah, I would deem Payday 3 to just not be that playable, really. You'd have to be a die-hard fan to really put up with this. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next one.